Mr. Hunter, welcome, and thank you for becoming the latest patron. You guys are being very generous, and once again, if you do want to support the channel like Mr. Hunter here, you can do so by becoming a patron or a YouTube member, but honestly, just watching these videos helps out big time already. But if you go further and beyond, I can supply the coffee that keeps these videos going, so that's where all that goes. With that said, sit back and enjoy. It's a 3v3, it is an in-house, that's right. I'm playing on red team. Well, actually, I am actually on Warsaw Pact, surprise, surprise. And we're playing against Silton, Chugov, and Luck 3000, who's on NATO. I believe that's Holly. Yeah, we keep changing our names once in a bit. Once in a while, we change our names, okay? We gotta keep it interesting. But anyways, I am playing as the 79, one of my favorite battle groups. And we got our teammates playing as the 119 and also the 39. We're up against the 5th Panzer, 3rd Armored, and 2nd Infantry. So let's get to it. So per 79 strategy, I kind of go with an old school strategy, which evolves around getting your recon infantry and rocket helis, getting your Spetsnaz GRU up there, getting the Mi-24 out, getting a bunch of manpads. Usually I would also get tanks, but since we're going into the kind of urban area, tanks probably not a good idea. So we're gonna go with that. Now, right straight away, we're going to be intercepted by 2 planes. We have Chukov's Eagle coming in and Gluck's Phantom already doing a good run on one of my Mi-8s. We actually get a good hit with the Mi-24, bringing it down to 6 HP, which is quite good already. That's pretty nice. And this plane is now definitely hurt, although he is coming back for more, it seems. On the left, we have an F4F going for Fire and Forget's Mi-8 rocket. Once again, not being able to take it out. And here comes an Eagle going for my Mi-24, also not being able to take it out, so that is nice. Over here, there's a lot of SAS. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 squads of SAS on load, together with sniper teams and a couple of these Fox vehicles. The Mi-24 gets absolutely annihilated over there. We do have our Mi-8 here, firing some rockets on the SAS, trying to do as much damage as possible basically after unloading the infantry. So we get our Resvetkas out, and then we get our Mi-8s back into the action. I just try to stun this blob as much as possible here. Now I do call in some reinforcements, some BMP-2s filled with Motostrelakis. Here we go, rocket Mi-8 is going at the SAS. Doing a good amount of damage here. They don't have unlimited stingers, 6 per squad. But obviously you can kind of already guess that that's still quite a bit here. This SAS taking a good shot at my Mi-8, my recon unit. But in general, we did do a good amount of damage here, so that's down to 4. This guy's down to 6, so we haven't really killed a lot, but yeah, they are hurt, and that is good. Over here, I'm just holding a defensive posture. We have Motostrelaki Metis teams. We have the Resvetka Sapri with the Satchel charges, Spetsnaz GRUs with the snipers and the RPGs, and the Val, which is really good. And then we have a couple more Mot Resvetka recon units, which are actually really not bad. So we do get a command in here to neutralize the zone, and I immediately move it out because it's kind of an obvious spot where I kind of entered with my command. On the right side, we have Fishy with T80s, 3 T80UDs. I didn't even realize I was playing with Fishy on this team. And he has 3 Strela, so this is kind of the old school strategy with the 79. You just got AA, Recon is Lycan in this case, and tanks. That's all you get. Here's the Recon. Oh, there you go. I was corrected. MiG-29 coming in, getting the Lynx 87 immediately, flinging a missile at the Tornado, hitting it once. Does it survive? Ooh, if it doesn't get hit by this, okay, it survived, I guess. I hope not. That's gonna hit. Yeah, no, it's dead. That took ages to evac too, and it kind of went all over the SAS areas too. Over here, we briefly moved the Resvetka unit out there to try to engage some of these units, but they're not doing so hot, and we fall back with the rest of our units here and try to hold them in a bit more defensive position. And that's looking quite rough. Now, he finally does have some recon on the front line, so that is good. That Ito is in a bush, so that is actually going to be able to keep firing at the T-80s. And the T-80s are not able to see it because the recon doesn't have a good line of sight on it. It's just outside of its line of sight, actually. Now I think it spotted the Abrams instead. Yep, it's firing at the M1A1. Recon is now spotting the Ito, so that's going to be taken out as well. There you go, it's already firing the NSVT at it. But that Abram definitely took a big old hit. So in the middle, my BMPs have arrived. Modostrelki's unloading. I'm just keeping the BMPs a bit too close, but still out there to give some fire support. But yeah, I should have definitely unloaded it over here instead, so that they wouldn't have been shot at by the SAS. Supply truck over there to reinforce the infantry, always a good idea here. So Holly is doing a good job with that. So over here, we have a couple of Jaeger squads, but I'm not really pushing aggressively. Actually, I'm falling back. I'm getting some supplies to fix the Sapri units and the GRU units, and I'm also getting a couple more units up over there. With 30mm, we hope to kind of reinforce the back line. So we'll get more units up here. This time I do unload in a safe spot, so BMP2s will be able to fire at the SAS without us taking too much damage. And you can see that he immediately gets out of there. We have 2 Modostrelkis. That's going to take care of all the Saxon vehicles over there. And the SAS actually taken a good amount of damage too. If we press C on the SAS, we can see, no pun intended, where our BMPs need to be in order to give fire support. That is important to note. This guy is actually able to keep firing at these guys. And that's going to help big time. More infantry being unloaded. Now we have some Resvetka Sapris. We have 2 more Modostrelki squads moving up. And we keep the BMPs in the back. Over here, Modostrelkis and BTR-80s coming in to reinforce. Spetsnaz and Resvetka Sapri are just trying to hold the Jaeger units back here for as long as possible. But as you can see, that's not really going too well. But we build a secondary defensive line with Modostrelkis. We fall back with the manpads, and we get these guys to basically hold in these 2 buildings here and keep them at bay for as long as they can. We also have more units coming in, so more Modostrelkis and BMPs, and we put them on top of the hill right here so that they can fire down there with the autocannons. Now over here, Modostrelkis have made it. There's just a lot of these Fox vehicles that are being a real pain in the butt, so we move our Modostrelkis up over there to start engaging those. But Ollie keeps the micro up and moves them out of that area before it gets annihilated by some Modostrelkis. So that's going pretty good so far. We're consolidating our forces left, and we have kind of a beachhead into this area, let's say. So here come the 30mm. These are purely going to be defensive in my case, because I really don't have the necessary units to push yet. Now these Modostrelkis are going to move down, while the BMPs keep overwatch. We have 30mm as well, so they're just going to chill there until we need them to do anything else. Here comes the Fox vehicles. BMP2s can now open up. So that's going to be nice. We can actually start engaging and hitting some of these. There we go, one of them almost destroyed completely. Now the Modostrelkis have moved up, and they can actually see one of them, and we take it out with a nice cheeky side shot. But that is good. And I was about to fast move my BMPs through here, but then I encountered SAS. I was hoping to basically fast move and try to take out some of these guys, but that would have mattered anyway since there's 2 challengers up there. So we're doing pretty good here. So BMP2s firing some AT gems at the Fox. That's probably gonna hit. Yep, they're pretty good AT gems. And we have a Spetsnaz GRU and another 30mm, and actually 2 Spetsnaz GRUs that are gonna be used to reinforce this area. One thing we need is supplies, but we also start whipping out some of those. Over here, I once again position the BMP2s in a spot where they can give fire support, but that sniper is getting fired at by the autocannon. 2 SAS squads are still battling it out against 2 Modostrelkis. Now there's also 2 challengers that are going to be firing at us, so we're not going to win that fight. But neither is that SAS squad. And we clean it up. Pretty good. We do call in a cluster bomber. We lose the cluster bomber, I believe. Did we? Yeah. And I was hoping to get some of these challengers. We get a tracked rapier instead. But one of the Challies is hurt, so that did, that wasn't a complete waste. More Modostrelkis are being called in. I'm going for cheaper variants now with the BTR-80 instead of the BMP2. And we actually do call in a T80BV here to get some tonkage. Right now, we're still holding. We have put the 2 Spetsnaz GRUs up on the front to get the SVD to work on the Jaeger units. And the more weakened units we keep in the back to just defend. And to wait for supplies, because we desperately need some of those. Speaking of, supplies have arrived, so they're gonna move up on the front. And that's gonna hopefully fix all these guys up, and then we can do another push. There you go, Jaeger unit gets annihilated by all of the machine guns and snipers, but also by the PKT and KPVT of the BTR-80s. Really good vehicles to have. And what I'm basically doing is moving these guys out here in order to give some crossfire. So they can actually start engaging these Jaegers as well. Because they've been put in a church, which puts you basically above the entire town. The line of sight of churches is kind of wonky compared to regular buildings. On the right, we moved our BMPs up to the flank. We actually get a couple of good hits on some of these tanks here. We destroy an M48. I'm not quite sure if our ATGM was the one that hit the Challenger there, but it definitely is looking a bit hurt. At this point, we also have some mortars, 120mm, 4 of them. They're going to be useful to clean up the town a little bit to get some suppression going. So that's just getting ready for combat there. Now on the left, Fire and Forget is up against Silton. Silton has fallen back quite a bit, it seems. But Fire and Forget is playing with a good deck. 39th is just really powerful. Especially if you line up the town with Conquerors and Recon, and yeah, you have good AA, good tanks. You get BMP3s. So he's doing pretty good. On the right side, Fishy is holding it. He has a lot of T80UDs, as you can see. One of them is about to get hit by a... Ooh, almost got hit by an Ito. Is that enemy smoke? That is enemy smoke. Interesting. Trying to block the line of sight of all these tanks, while not really pushing with any other tanks. I mean, I wouldn't be mad about this smoke, to be honest. It kind of helps the tanks out too. But we start using the mortars. I initially saw these tanks move into the forest here, so that's why I targeted with everything I got. But it looks like the Javelin is about to become collateral damage here, with the 120s landing quite close, but not exactly on top. There we go, routed. And another good hit will destroy this guy. Yep, there she goes. Alright, so that took care of that Igla at least. We do or of that Manpad. We do have an Igla firing at the Gazelle. We get a really nice hit on that, and there goes his Recon. He does not have any other Recon heli. Oh, never mind, he just called in another one. So TADBV here, we lob a shell at the Challengers, we miss, so we smoke and fall back. 2 Challengers versus 1 T80, not a good idea. But we do have more tanks coming in. I'm basically filling up the area with some more tanks and more Metis teams. These are really good at holding at close range or mid-range with their Metis launchers. That's why we're going for those. Now over here, the supplies have been used quite a bit. All my infantry is back on HP. Everything is looking pretty nice, so we can slowly start pushing up again. So I get some more Metis teams up on the flank here. In case these tanks move to the edge of that hill, I can actually start firing at them. And with that, we start slowly creeping up forward. Wild Weasel, seaplane on the right side. There's a lot of radar AA here. Tungushkas. But it looks like the gun has been turned off, which is the only radar gun or weapon that the Tungushka has. The surface-to-air missiles are non-radar, but I can actually keep firing. No hits though. Ooh, 1 hit with Estrella. Once again, just smoke instead of regular HE. Ooh, the plane actually gets the kill on the Wild Weasel. That was great. Now going back here, I have moved up some of my Motostrelakis and Spetsnaz. We're getting some nice ranged combat here. All the RPKs and the KPVTs on the BTR-80s are doing good damage. I would really recommend not just sacrificing your vehicles like this, or like usual, but using this fire support and keeping them alive for as long as possible. Because they can do some damage. I move up to 30 mils as well. Motostrelakis moving in, engaging the Jaeger units. The Plembia 30s cannot engage at point blank, so you do have to kind of put them in a more strategic position than this. Probably put them over here or here to engage these units at range. A buttload of Challengers moving in. Definitely not something I was hoping to see. That's going to be a bit of a challenge there. But we are still +2 though, so it's going pretty good. So we got the Metis teams up here. They cannot see the challengers, but it is a deterrent. These guys are now falling back. There you go. We were initially mortaring this a little bit of freeze there, but it is actually helping to kick the tanks back up on that hill. That's actually working quite well. As you can see, the 30 mils cannot fire. They're kind of being a waste of units there. We do have an Mi-24 over here. We did lose the Mi-8 recon, but the Mi-24 is now being pushed up to start engaging the enemy units here. One SAS squad. I believe that's the last SAS squad that he has. After that, no more special forces. There we go. There goes the SAS. That building is now completely demolished. And with that, also one of the last units that he has in the middle. So as you can see, we're really going heavy on tanks. We now have 2 tanks there. I am getting more. There's a third one coming out. That's going pretty good. Ooh, that command unit is really far up. There's another one, luckily. There's a rover CP back there. So the thing with town fights is you really have to keep moving. Because if you don't move, you're gonna really get hammered. Here's Jägerfear that is caught out in the open. Are we gonna get it? Yes, we do. That's one command taken out. That is beautiful. And we're just moving our Mi-24V up over there to see what they have. We're not really getting engaged, so I basically just hold it over there as kind of a deterrent. But also to bait in any planes that might want to take it out. Always a good idea. Upon seeing that we don't really get engaged, we just move it in quite aggressively. Right into a javelin over there. But yeah, maybe not the best idea. Sometimes you just gotta go and be aggressive. And just go for it. We spot the Chinook supply. We do get hit twice by the javelin LML. That is routing our Mi-24. Quite unfortunate there. Wish we could have done a bit more damage on that. And with a third strike, he takes it out. Really good units to have. Really high fire rate too. 11 rounds per minute. It's pretty dang good. But we do have some more Modus Relicies. They're basically waiting. They're waiting for a smoke attack. That's kind of the entire plan that we have cooking up here. And going back to the left, G.Lawton has smoked off the area to shove a CV in there, bringing it down to only +1. Jaguar 2, ooh, getting some good hits on the TA, I believe. Jaguar 2, really good units to have. TOW 2 launchers for 95 points. Oh, well, there goes. There goes the TOW 2. I don't know where that TOW 2 went, but it's going. I think a plane flew. Oh wait, we're firing at the Gazelle, I was gonna say. So at this point, Ollie is basically moving his tanks in a group all around the map, basically just roaching. That's what we call it, kind of just... when you have a cluster of units that you just move around in the same group, that's what he's doing with those. He's moving them back and forth to engage some of my units, so he's doing pretty good with that. The M107s here being quite a bit of a problem, so we fall back with these guys. Luckily we have supplies all around this area. These are going to be fixed just fine. Now I was smoking because I thought that he would probably move down with his tanks to start engaging us, but he did not. That was a preemptive smoke. That was a preemptive smoke. Can you believe it? Now right side looking pretty good actually. Fishy's just holding. He doesn't really need to push, but he is pushing up in some areas. He has Spetsnaz and Pulmachikis pushing through the woods together with a recon unit to at least try to clear kind of an area where he can then move his tanks in, I suppose. And at this point, we start a big ol' smoke mission. This entire place is going to be blanketed with smoke, and the reason is, well, I want to do a push with Modus Relici. These guys are going to now push up and try to basically push up into the forest so that we can spot that tank and take it out. But my tanks are still getting fixed. That TAD, command, and the regular BV is getting repaired. We are running out of supplies there. We're gonna need some more, but luckily we always have more supplies incoming. There's always more supplies. That's a lot of challengers though. 5 challengers, a couple of M48s, and quite a bit of units in the forest. So we just keep smoking it. I have given them multiple orders to basically smoke off the entire place for as long as they can. Ooh, he might get some really good hits on my Monostrelkis there. One of those RDPs is tasked with firing right there. That could be quite nasty. Tornado coming in for a bombing run. We immediately take it out. But he does take out 2 of our squads, but it's okay. We have more. We have more. Monostrelkis getting into contact with armored rifles, with warriors. There you go. Actually, those RD shells are hitting right on target. Quite devastating on my Monostrelkis here. Yeah, that definitely hurts. But we have more smoke. We have some supplies. We are now also moving up our tanks. Basically just trying to spot that command and take it out. We do hold a couple of our Monostrelkis here. And we do keep the smoke mission going up. There we go. With that, we also move in some of our recon units. GRU and Resvetka are moving up. The tanks are going to move up here in just a moment. Oh man, this is gonna look an epic. Here we go. Fresh contact. Jägeraufklär. Spetsnaz and Resvetka are about to pop up over that hill. They will be able to start engaging those units. We do keep the smoke mission going. We lost one of them to counter battery, but we're gonna keep this going and just keep blanketing this entire place. That way I neutralize these tanks completely. And that is the beauty of it. There we go. Let's see if this guy actually starts engaging the warrior. He's not in range. Nope, he's just not spotting it, it seems. And at this point we also move our tanks over the hill. Supplies are dangerously close to a Jaeger unit, which was not planned for sure. But luckily he's moving the other way. Here we go, 3 tanks engaging the Jägeraufklär. It's gonna be easy money here for our units. Oh, there we go. We actually lost one of the supplies to that Jaeger unit. We lost both of them. Damn, that kind of hurts. That definitely hurts. That is a lot of tanks in that one patch of forest. I do call in a cluster plane on this. And we're gonna see if that actually did some damage. So the tanks here are really holding it down. We also call in some recon units and MI8s to hopefully unload right back behind them, but there is so much AA here. Point blank tracked rapier, chaparral on the right side. So just not a good time. So SC-24 cluster bomber coming in. Fire position right in the middle of that blob. And I do wonder if that's actually going to kill anything. So we're gonna slow it down. Half speed. It does look like it's gonna get some hits. Let's see what happens. At least one Charlie dead here. Oh yeah, no. Ooh. Okay. That did some damage. Yeah, that did some good old damage there. That was good. I could have gotten some more. But I'm happy with that. And with that, we do unload 2 of the Mi-8 rockets. One of them just got shot down, the other one is just firing as many rockets as possible before it's also going to go bye-bye. But the Resvetka teams made it, and we do actually clap that command. Beautiful. SU-24 coming in with Lasegata bombers. I believe they were targeting one of these challengers, and they're really messed up at this point. SU or Tornado coming in for a bombing run, going where we were, so that is good for us. And we actually do get a kill on that, I believe. Tungushkas, yep, got it. At this point I do push my luck a little bit. I was kind of hoping for more of those tanks to have died. So I kind of poked my head out here. I mean, we do get a couple of M48s and some other units, but definitely not going to win against Challies. After that we smoke and fall back. This guy's messed up, that guy's messed up. So we just fall back and just try to hold for as long as possible with the tanks, or with the infantry. But speaking of supplies from earlier, we have a new big old convoy of supplies coming in to start fixing whatever we can for, you know, for however long we can, and just keep the +4 tick going. Left and right flank is still holding really stably. There's a lot of smoke happening here from Chukov. That's actually NATO smoke, but it's not being used for any benefit other than blocking the line of sight of these units. But it's not being combined with any sort of attack. But then again, it is really hard to push 119. A10 coming in. We're getting a good hit on that one. Probably gonna get shot down now though. Or not. 2 hits with the manpads. Nah, it got out. That was quite risky. So yeah, we're trying to hold this front line here for as long as we can. Mortars are, well, pretty much drained. They would have been a good help here, just HEing this little patch of woods. But I'm just trying to hold this for as long as I can here and keep the +3 tick going. Because left side got neutralized here by Silton once again. He basically just smoked and shoved another command in there, which is definitely what you want to do. But we're holding. We're holding. Supplies have done their job, getting these guys fixed again. And we're just trying to hold that force for as long as we can. More infantry has been called in. Pulmachikis moving up. They're going to try to push here again. But Pulmachikis, really not good units, in my opinion. I don't like them. I don't know why. They've never really worked in my hands. Maybe they're more of a defensive unit. Especially with the 3 PKMs, you have to just be stagnant. MW1 coming in, doing a huge amount of damage on my infantry. Luckily, missing the TAD VVK, so that kind of helps. But yeah, it is looking a bit more difficult in that patch of woods there. Challenger on the flank, going after the Pulmachiki Brikis. Not gonna end well for these guys. We do get into this beautiful house here. That is a nice house. And we start unloading with the triple PKMs. And you can tell the Jaeger is taking quite a beating there. Just not fast enough, it feels like. Yeah, and Pulmachikis are IFV infantry. So they really, you only really benefit 100% if you have an IFV close to them. That basically causes them to take less suppression. But yeah, at this point, there's more and more tanks being loaded up in this area, so I move my command tank in for a final battle against the Jaegers, and I move my supplies out. I just hope that this is gonna last long enough before they take control of this forest again and possibly neutralize it again, because they are, with that Challenger Mark II here in just a moment. Ooh, good hits with the Iglos there again. Those Iglos are doing really good. Here we go. Our last Pulmachikis have been called in. Death TAD is gonna get clapped. We do get a good hit on the commander though, bringing it down to 6 HP. That's pretty good. Over here, MI-24 AT being called in, going for the Jaegers. That Javelin once again hitting 2 shots in a row. And almost taking out another helicopter. So we go here and we start, well, we put it down on the ground. So Pulmachiki's moving in. They do have nice RPGs that are good at stunning a tank really quick. Mainly because of the high rate of fire, but the suppression is quite high on them too. Look at that. That's already stunned. And that is an elite Challenger. Engine destroyed on that one. We're basically out of RPGs at this point. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good emotional damage that we did. Tunguska over here, opening fire on the Chinook. Did we actually manage to kill that? It looks like it, yeah. That's actually huge. That is huge. Mi-8 rocket being called in with a Resvetka. Trying to basically just use the rockets at this point and stun as many of these units as possible. And we actually do destroy that building and that Jaeger after that. So we have an Su-25 incoming. We kill the command tank. And with that we capture the zone fully once again. That was a dive. That was a dive on that tank and a half. Now here's a bit of carelessness here, causing me to lose the entire recon squad. But it's okay. We give him a, we give him a free 97 supplies in return. So here we go. Tunguska up against 5 Gazelle rockets. We destroyed one of them in one go. Another one taken out. And that causes him to retreat. Really fun units to have, these Tunguskas. But yeah, +3 in 1 minute left. We actually call in some more tanks, but we're gonna hold them at a defensive position. We did also move our mortars up because we were just getting hammered by those M107s there. Really good RD pieces, good range, and insane HE on that. One of the highest HEs, I believe, in the game. It might actually be the highest. I'm not quite sure. It's far up there. I think the 203mm and the Malka have the highest, but these guys are pretty much right up there as well. I don't know how this Igla team made it all the way back there, by the way, but that's a champion. Tick Ho Dodd. That dude is a Chad. But once again, we move over the area. MI8 being kind of an aggressive recon here. And we move our T80 BVs in there. Try to just collapse whatever we can. Not really expecting 4 tanks. But we decide to just smoke and retreat. And just at least save Polensky and Petrov. And with that, it's GG's. We did pretty good. We went negative. 5,000 versus almost 6,000 there. But yeah, we put up some work against the second. Second is really good. It's probably one of the best decks in the game. So it was kind of hard to deal with all the SAS in the beginning for sure. This Tunguska did some damage too. But yeah, with the SC-24 we could have done a bit more damage. I was just unlucky with the spread. Next time I'm just gonna cluster behind the tanks and hope he reverses into that. But we got 1 Challenger, 1 M48 and messed up a couple more. But that SC-25 near the end was the cherry on top with the Challenger kill. But yeah, the SAS and the Challengers, they did really good damage. The Jaeger are also pretty good actually. Javelin NML, one of the best man pads in the game. But that was it guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know, and I'll see you guys next video. Take care.